Dear Malcolm Turnbull, this is an open letter to our current Prime Minister and all other Conservative members of Parliament. Firstly, I just wanted to say that you, Mr. Turnbull, are a coward. You have shown Australia and the rest of the world that you are nothing but a puppet. When you first came in, there was a glimmer of hope for marriage equality, yet nothing has changed. And now, you are destroying a program which prevents bullying. These days, there are many forms of bullying, yet through my recent experience of high school, the most common form of bullying I witnessed and was victim to was that of a homophobic kind. Stopping bullying is a war. Stopping homophobic bullying is a battle. And you have just dropped a nuke on those trying to prevent bullying. I knew I was gay when I started year 7. In fact, I knew I was gay when I was in primary school. I was 10 years old when I first came out to someone. And then, by year 7, I came out to a few closer friends. News travelled fast, and suddenly I was getting death threats. People telling me I was going to get bashed to the point that I couldn't walk home, that they were going to beat me to death. Then, around year 9, 2011, I had changed friends and was with a more popular group. I was fully out by the end of the year. And what had changed? Safe schools, that's what. There was still some homophobia around, but with posters around the schoolyard and in classrooms, it helped. By 2014, year 12, I was helping run a gay-straight alliance at my school. There, I would talk to a year 7 boy who went through a similar experience as me. He told someone about his sexuality, who told someone who told his entire year level. He experienced exclusion and some name calling. Bad, but different to what I went through. There were no death threats. Then one day, an old student, someone who graduated about 4 years prior to me, came and spoke about his experiences of school. He used to have his head thrown into a locker and the door slammed shut. This went from extreme physical abuse to mediocre verbal abuse in such a short amount of time. There were probably many other factors contributing to this, but safe schools was without a doubt one of the major contributors to this fact. 2014 was also the year I attended the same-sex formal, which was run by Minus 18, the Victorian Government and Safe Schools Coalition. It was the first time where I could be myself without eyes judging me, because there I wasn't different. This is my personal story on how Safe Schools Coalition is important. Now, there are complaints that Safe Schools Coalition is sexualizing youth, and that is probably the most pathetic excuse for trying to get rid of something because you are a homophobic, pathetic excuse for a human being who has forgotten they are helping run a first world country. These days, everything is sexualized. Billboards, TV commercials, Kmart catalogs, kids' films have sexual innuendos within them. You can't even take a walk down the street without having sexuality slammed down your throat. Now, what's the difference? It's heterosexuality. When I was 11, I knew I was gay. And what did I learn about at school? How my feelings and body worked? What kind of relationships I'd be having with a same-sex partner? How to have safe sex with someone of the same gender? No. I learnt about all these things, but about heterosexuality. I learned about parts of the male body and the female body. I even had to label a naked drawing of them. In fact, I was too petrified to look at the male drawing with the fear that someone would think I was gay, that I was never able to complete that piece of work. I would be taught about how straight people have sex and how that works. Not once through any schooling did I learn about homosexual relationships, or trans studies for that matter. Where does a 21st century child go for information regarding themselves that teachers aren't teaching? The internet. I went on gay chat sites designed for young gay people to talk to one another about their experiences. And of course, I found a countless amount of sexual predators willing to take advantage of vulnerable children looking for answers. By taking away programs such as Safe Schools Coalition, you are putting kids in risk of being bullied and in danger of becoming victims of very serious crimes. Safe Schools Coalition does not add anything different to what's already out there for heterosexual beings. They create controlled environments, safe answers, informative documents and events. To say that Safe Schools Coalition are sexualizing youth is just ignorant. Youth are already sexualized inside and outside of the schoolyard. Now for the fact of it being parental consent. What are you going to do when a child works out they're gay and doesn't have any support at home? Then they can't get any support at school because you have banned it. In some instances, this child may attempt suicide. This attempt may be successful. And believe me, growing up, I've known many people to make this attempt because they could not handle it. And sometimes, I never got the chance to say goodbye. We need Safe Schools Coalition to bring awareness of different sexualities and genders. We need Safe Schools Coalition to provide a safe place for those of different sexualities and genders. We need Safe Schools Coalition to end homophobia in the schoolyard. We need Safe Schools Coalition to prevent suicides brought on by someone's sexuality or gender. Changing Safe Schools Coalition is not about doing the right thing by kids and schools. Changing it is because you are uncomfortable in your homophobic high chair and you want us to stay hidden. But I will tell you this, Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Birmingham, Mr. Christensen, Mr. Bernardi, we will not stay hidden. We will grow, and we will keep growing. And we will not stay quiet. We will get loud, and we will keep getting louder. And we will not let bullies like you dictate to us that we should not be seen, that we cannot be heard. We will not go quietly into the night.